Hi, students out there. My name is Edwidge Dupart, the Peer Mentor Coordinator here at the First Year Services Department. And today we're going to be going over time management skills, and we're going to be briefly touching upon goal setting strategies, very surface level on goal setting strategies, because I do believe that goal settings go along with time management skills. So let's jump right into it. Why do you think using a calendar matters so much? Well, for me personally, I think calendars are the greatest tool to use to stay balanced, to keep a healthy lifestyle, a balanced, healthy lifestyle, for you to understand that you can balance work life, school life, and personal life. This is a great tool for me because time management skills has kept me on track with all my to-dos, all my deadlines, all my tasks, as well as my personal life. So I think, gaining time management skills and using computers are an amazing tool. All right, the importance of time management. So for me, the importance is, of course, to avoid burnout. You do not want to start feeling burnout, start feeling fatigued and tired and drained, that you cannot continue what you set out to do. You cannot continue that class that you started in the beginning of the semester. You had to drop or withdraw because you feel so tired, you feel so drained, you feel so overwhelmed. So burnout is, we try to avoid that at all costs. Another way is to feeling overwhelmed and stressed. Using time management skills will help you avoid feeling these feelings. These sensations can really be detrimental to your physical well-being as well as your mental well-being. You want to understand that keeping a level head and balancing your life will help you promote self-care. And self-care is number one when you're trying to be successful as a college student and in your career goals. Another reason why time management is so important is that it keeps you efficient. It keeps you on task. It prioritizes the importance of the things you're dealing with that day, as well as it helps you study better. When you have set out time to study, you know as a student or as an employee that this time is dedicated to studying. This time is dedicated to doing homework. This time is dedicated to working on deadlines. So I think time management skills helps you out with all this. The great key takeaway from this is just making sure that you live a healthy, balanced lifestyle so you can be successful in all areas of your life, not only at school, but with your personal life too. That's very important. What calendars can you use? So there's a huge variety of calendars that is out there. There's notebook calendars. There's phone calendars that are automatically embedded into any phone that you have nowadays. You could use that. That's very convenient and easy because we always have our phones with us. We're living in a day and age now where our phones is our everything. So that's a great way to use a calendar. The dry eraser calendar is amazing too. I have one of these in my offices and I kind of just lay out the whole week, the whole month. I put all the events and activities that are going on campus, all the events and activities that we are working on in our office. And me and my leads, we use this just to kind of see the month at a glance, what we need to be working on, what we should be projecting to work on. So this is a great tool as well. Google calendars are amazing. Online calendars, you can definitely use one of those. The Google calendars are great because you can sync your Google calendar with anything. And usually this is on your phone. If you have Gmail, you can sync your Gmail to your Google calendar. Planners are amazing. Actually, I love planners. This is the type of calendar I use. This one right here. Ooh, I'm sorry. I apologize. This is the type of calendar I use. The reason why I use planners is because I like to have something tangible. I like to hold onto something. I'm kind of old school. So I just like to write my days out, write my weeks out, write out my months and see it right in front of me. So some people love the phone calendars. Some people love online calendars, and that's completely fine. Find the calendar that works for you. Me, I love these type of calendars. I have a passion planner, and it has little quotes, like motivational quotes on the side. I can write in affirmations for me that day. They're also like sections where you can write like your to-dos. And so I like doing that. And then you can kind of customize these planners yourself as well. Strategies when creating a calendar. So, you know, me, I tend to use one calendar for everything. And sometimes, in some cases, that can be a little overwhelming at times too, because I could be at work working on work deadlines, but looking at the things I have to do in my personal life with my kids or my family. So I just want you to know that you can use 3 separate calendars. You can use and have a work calendar at work. You can have a school calendar, and then you can have a personal calendar just for your family, or if you're a parent, for your daughter, or, for anything that you do outside of school and work. If you are into sports and you're on a softball team, or if you exercise, those that, you could use separate calendars. You don't have to use one. Me, I started off with using one calendar and realized that that wasn't working for me. So now I have a calendar for work, I have a calendar for school, and I have a calendar for my family personal life. My work calendar lists all the deadlines, the to-dos, the tasks, the assignments that I have to work on. And then I have a priority list where I put, priority 1, priority 2, priority 3, whichever way you want to create that, you could use that for that. I also have a school calendar that kind of maps out what when my classes are, and when assignments are due, and when I'll be having my tests or quizzes. And this helps me gain a better perspective on what I should be working on, when I should be working on it, and when I should be done. And also, it lays out times and periods for me to study and do homework and complete my assignments. I have classes online, and using this calendar, my passion planner, my notebook calendar, helps me a lot, because with this planner, I can kind of shade out areas where, okay, this is study time area. So nothing should be going on during my study time area. This is homework area. Nothing should be going on during my homework area, just homework. So if I have a friend that calls me and says, hey, Edwidge, you want to go out to lunch? I can refer to my calendar, my planner, and say, unfortunately, I'm not available at this time. I'm studying. I'm not available at this time. I'm doing homework. So it's going to keep you balanced and stay on track with what you're set out to do for your classes. Same thing goes for your family calendar, your personal calendar. You set aside time to exercise, which is very important. You set aside time to go grocery shopping, or just spend time with your kids. I know for me, a great goal of mine this year is to spend more time with my daughter, more quality time with no distractions, with no phones, with no TV, just me and her speaking. So this keeps me on track with that. Another point that I want to really highlight is rechecking your calendar and updating it. I wasn't good at this. I would kind of map out my calendar for the month or the week, and there will be changes throughout the days and weeks that I wouldn't add to my calendar. So my calendar wasn't reflecting my reality. And that kind of got me off track on what I needed to do. So I realized that every day you should look at your calendar. So what I do is, in the morning, I open my calendar up. I'm like, okay, what are my to-dos today? What do I need to be working on? What are my priorities this week, today? And if it's not aligning with my reality, then I quickly make those edits. I change that. I highlight things out. I cross things out. I white things out. Your calendar doesn't have to stay pretty, guys, okay? Because I wish I could show you my calendar. I don't have it with me right now, but I mean, there's all kinds of things going on. But it's my crazy madness that helps me with keeping myself on track. So just make sure you recheck your calendar and you update your calendar when it's needed. And also, for your school and your work calendar, add when you have class, add when you have work. So in the beginning, I spoke to you that I used to use one calendar, but now I use 3 different calendars. And that doesn't overwhelm me, you know? So make sure you use what's going to work for you. I'm just speaking from my experience, from my perspective. So now with my 3 different calendars, I had to add in each when I'm in school, when I'm at work. So for instance, for school, in my school calendar, I added, hey, Monday through Friday from this time to that time, I'm working. In my work calendar, I added, you know, Monday through Friday, this time I'm studying. So you need to make sure that you're updating your calendars on what you're doing during these periods, so you can have a better look at what you need to do when you can do it. So that's a very, very important tip that I would like to give you guys. Also, schedule time during the day when you want to study for an exam or write an essay. This goes along with what I just said. If you need to put in your study calendar, hey, I mean your school calendar, hey, from this time at 6 p.m. when I get off of work at 4, I'm gonna take a little time, eat some dinner, kind of get a little retrieving relaxation time and jump into my studies. So you put 6, let's say 8 that you're studying, and that's all you're doing. Okay, so make sure you shade those areas out. You can color coordinate those areas. You can get really creative with calendars. It's really fun, actually. Nowadays, they have all these cool, neat stickers that you can use, all these cute like markers and gel markers that you kind of color coordinate your calendars to make it look kind of lively and give it some themes and everything, like the theme of the month, you know, like what you should be working on. So this could be really fun too. So get creative. Just make sure that you're inputting all the necessary times of what you should be working on. All right, we're gonna go to the next slide here. Important dates to put in your calendar. When does school start is an important, very essential date. When does your school start? So if you put that in your calendar and you know when your school starts, you know to start preparing from what time. So for instance, if my classes start January 27th, I know that by maybe even by the beginning of December to start preparing for my next semester. I know to start making sure that the books that I need for my classes, I'm going to the bookstore, I'm looking online, I'm trying to see if there's, you know, books that I could rent. You know, you could start preparing. So when you know start dates and end dates of school and your classes, you could start preparing. That helps you facilitate that out. Also, FAFSA deadlines. To me, FAFSA is everything because I don't have money that was saved away for me to pay for school. So understanding these important deadlines are going to keep you on track, and it's going to help you because you need to pay for your tuitions. You need book money to buy your books. Books are expensive now. I mean, I bought my book for Anthropology 102 and it was $180. Without my Pell Grant, I don't think I would be able to afford that. And because I use my calendar and I put down the deadlines for financial aid, when I'm supposed to renew my financial aid, when I'm supposed to apply for it, when's the deadlines, I was able to do that ahead of time, and I was able to get my Pell Grant on time, you know, because honestly, if you don't do your financial aid on time, sometimes that runs the risk of you not having your tuition paid for and not having that money to buy the supplies and materials you need for your course. So this is very, very important. Making sure that you embed, that you put deadlines, important deadlines in your calendars. Also, when to sign up for classes. When does classes start? When can you register for your classes? This is very important in community colleges because our classes are impacted. We have a lot of classes that we offer, but we have more students that need those classes. So getting your classes ahead of time is going to help you make sure you get the classes you need. Not that you need to just make the unit requirement, but that you need towards your educational goal. Classes that are on your educational plan, the one that you create with your counselor. So this is very important to make sure that you understand when you can register for classes, and when that date comes, you have a list of classes that you know you need to take. So once again, meeting with the counselor is essential because the counselor is going to speak with you on the classes that you're going to have to take towards your educational goals. Dates when you have exams or essays due. Like I said previously, make sure that you have a set amount of of time to put in those exams and those essay deadlines. You have to make sure that you do that, because if you don't, you're going to miss those things, especially if you have a lot going on. If you got 12 units, and you have work, full-time work, and you have, kids, and you're a leader at your church, or you do volunteer work at the hospital, you're going to forget things. That's just human nature. We don't remember everything. I mean, no one's perfect, and no one's asking you to be perfect. But I know that for me, if I don't write things down, I forget them. I need to write things down. And I don't know how important that is to you, but I think you should, do the same thing. Always write things down when your essays are due, when your exams due, when the assignment is coming out, So always make sure you record these things, so then you can look back to and use it as a reference, to make sure that you stay on top of that. Withdrawal deadline is another important thing. I cannot emphasize enough. If you feel that you are not going to pass this class, and that there's no way that you can, get a better grade than a D or an F, withdrawal deadline, knowing the withdrawal deadline is very important, because this will give you the opportunity to withdraw from the class. And then you won't have an F or a D in that class. You'll just have to retake that class. Having too many W's can look bad, but having one or two because, you just wasn't comprehending the information of the material is fine. That's why it's offered. That's why we have those opportunities to withdraw from classes. Now, if you can drop a class before you withdraw from a class, that's much better, because the withdrawal goes on your student record. The drop does not. So if you feel in the first 2 weeks that you are probably not going to be able to pass this class, you don't have enough time, or this was the wrong class, you might want to make sure you keep track of the drop deadlines. Now, for each class is different. You have different drop deadlines and withdrawal deadlines for each class. So I would say to refer to your syllabus at all times for these deadlines. And when these deadlines pass, there's no exceptions. So if the drop deadline passed, you're in that class. If the withdrawal deadline passed, you're in that class. So make sure you keep track and you know these deadlines: financial aid deadlines, withdrawal deadlines, and drop deadlines. All right, where to look at important dates from school. So where do you find this information? I just briefly stated that in the syllabus, you could see this information. The professor highlights drop deadline and withdrawal deadline. I think personally, to me, that's the best way, because I know that sometimes in the past, in my experience, these dates were different. They were not the same. So I know withdrawal deadlines for 16-week classes are usually the same, and for 8-week classes are usually the same. But you have to remember, what classes are you taking? Are you taking a short-term class? Or are you taking a long-term class? So all these factor in when you're dropping and withdrawing a class. So you can definitely go on sdcity.edu, our website, and you can actually see all these dates on the calendar. There's a city calendar on our website that lets you know about these dates, that informs you about these important dates. So I will suggest that you check your syllabus as well as your sdcity.edu website. All right, original tips and tricks. So we're gonna go over some tips and tricks for this. So use posts. It's within your calendar to color coordinate. So like I was telling you before, you can use little sticky notes to color coordinate. You can use pens, gel pens, markers, highlighters, whatever you want to color coordinate your deadlines, your due dates, your homework, your assignments. It's visually more appealing, and honestly, it helps me kind of decipher what is what. So with me, I love the color coordinating piece of this. It looks better. It helps me find things that I need to work on. And I usually have like a little symbol that says purples for studying, yellows for, homework, green is for, break time. Another important thing I want you guys to know is, taking breaks when you study and you do homework. It's been studied and researched that when you take those breaks, you come back with more brain capacity. You come back with your brain feeling refreshed. You don't want to go 2-3 hours studying and doing homework without a break. You need a break. Take a break, walk away, take a walk, grab a snack, drink some water, take some deep breaths. So when you come back, you feel rejuvenated and regenerated. That's very important. Also, in your calendar and your planner, highlight important due dates and exams. I like to do this because I need to know and see when things are due. So I will put my due dates and exams in red marker, in red pen, because I know that means like, okay, important, urgent. It gives like my mind a sense of like, okay, this is very important. It's coming up. Make sure this day, this time, you're taking care of that. Make it fun and interactive. Use stickers to highlight dates or for your own encouragement. Like I said before, being creative, using stickers you can find at Michael's, Walmart, to just kind of make it fun for yourself. I mean, sometimes I do spend maybe an hour or 2 hours working on my calendar and my planner because there's so much information that I have to input, or there's things that I have to change or update. So it could be time consuming, but also with it being time consuming, it's going to save you time as well at the end. So in the beginning, learning how to use a calendar, learning how to manage your time and using these planners can be time consuming. But the overarching goal is to make sure we save you time. We avoid that stress. We avoid that burnout. We avoid that overwhelming feeling that you can get. So you can be successful in the long term, and you can be successful as a student, as a professional, and in your personal life. All right, so examples of calendars. So this one right here is actually a weekly day calendar. So this is something that I use for my school. As you could see, 9 to 10, that usually means I'm in math class, and then from 10 to 11, I'm studying, and then from 1 to 2, I'm in political science class, then I'm studying. Then from 4 all the way until 9, I'm at work. So this kind of gives you a weekly glance of what you need to do that week and what time or what gaps you have to kind of take care of yourself, grab a bite to eat, take a nap. These are the kind of the times that you have for yourself. And you can kind of dictate what you would like to do during these periods. For me, like I said before, during this time, I'll probably take a nap or take a walk, eat something, spend time with my daughter. Saturday and Sunday, these times I will make some breakfast with my daughter. This time I'll just take a nap, maybe watch 1 or 2 TV shows just to kind of get my mind, in a relaxation mode. Because, you don't want to just keep on pounding your brain. You need that time, that retrieval time to be good when you come back. And there's also, like I said, dry eraser calendars where you can actually make your own, create your own, buy the laminated stickers, stick it on your wall, stick it up at work, stick it up in your room. There's the planner calendar that I use. This is my favorite calendar. I love this because I just like to write in. I like something tangible, something in my hand. I'm old school. You can kind of get creative with it by stickers, color coordinator, all that jazz. Then there's the online calendar where you can create on Excel or Google Docs, where you can kind of create your own, plug in your classes, plug in your work affairs, plug in your personal affairs. And this works really great too, especially if you're tech savvy. This will be amazing. So these are kind of the particular calendars that you can use. Now, here's an example of a college student using Calendar Daily. I'm gonna kind of give you a video of what a student will use. So. Let's let this infomercial play. And then there we go.
Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today is one of my most requested videos ever, and I'm so excited to bring it to you guys. We're going to be talking all about organizing our lives. I'm absolutely not claiming to be an expert in the slightest. I have very minimal knowledge of this subject, but a lot of you guys request this video, and I figured that if I could help even one person and just show you a different way to do things than what you normally do. Maybe that could be kind of helpful. I don't really know. So if you're new to my channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and follow me on all my socials and stuff. I'm always posting pictures of like my planner and stuff. I feel like that's what inspires this. Is people are like, oh, like it looks so cute. Like, how do you make it all pretty and stuff? And honestly, I'm not very much of like a handwriting person. My handwriting is absolute trash. I've been switching to doing things more digitally. But this is kind of how I manage it all. And I have phases where I'm really good with it, and then I have phases where I'm really bad with it. I'm a senior in college, so I'm trying to like get on my grind and be like really good at it. So this is kind of what I've been doing as of lately, and honestly, it's working pretty well. So we'll start off with being a student, a full-time student, part-time student, whatever. With being a student, the thing that's really nice about that is that you do have somewhat of a structured schedule, in the sense that you know when your classes are, even if you have them online. Luckily, the teachers will start off the semester off and give you a syllabus, or like a handout that outlines everything that you have upcoming in the semester, including due dates and test dates and stuff like that. So I guess we'll start off with digital, and then I'll go to physical. I use a day designer planner. This is like my physical one. This is more what I use for like day-to-day like to-do lists, or if it's like, hey, like don't forget, like pick this up at the store or something, I would just like quickly write it in here. But if it's more like a event-based thing, time structured, I put it all in my iCal on my Mac computer that I use, but it syncs up with my phone because I have an iPhone, and it's really great in that sense. And it syncs up with my watch. I'm a big, like, it all syncs up. So basically what I do in the beginning of the semester is I go in and plug in all, first of all, I do all my class times, all the times that I have class. So if I have a 125 to whatever, 215 class, I'm plugging it in, and I set it that it's like it repeats every day at that time for the rest of the semester, so that I don't have to keep plugging it in. It's really nice and easy. I'm going to do some overlays of how I do that here, just to help you guys. First, set the times to do class, because that's obviously going to be your biggest priority if you are a full-time student. You want to go to class. I definitely recommend going to class. I definitely skip a good bit, but I think it's important to have it like blocked in your calendar as if you are going, unless something more important comes up. Next, I go through all my syllabi of my classes, and I plug those dates all in. So that is anytime that I have a test, anytime that I have an assignment due, anytime that like I have a group meeting or whatever I have available, I plug in. I usually set those as all-day events too. Like if I have a test, I'm not just blocking it in for that time. I set it as an all-day event because a test is obviously really important. So it's going to be something on the day that I'm going to want to be like aware of in the weeks in advance. You know what I mean? That to me constitutes an all-day event. I'm listening to this book on Audible. This is not sponsored. I wish it was. I do have a code that gets you like some money off. But anyways, I am listening to this book called Getting Things Done, The Art of Stress-Free Productivity. And I'm not done with it, but I've already gathered like the main principles. And this is something that I already did, but they reiterated in the book that if it's something that's like an important event, like put it on the day. Don't put it on just the hour. Like make it like, oh, this is a day-long event. If you have like something due, if you have like rent money due, or anything like that's a bigger task that doesn't necessarily have one specific time slot. Because like if I have a test that day, yeah, like I need to take my test at 1 o'clock, but I need to study for it before, and I need to plan for it in the days in advance. So it definitely deserves to be like on the day. So anything big, rent money due, you need to pay someone for something, or you have a presentation, or I can't even think of other things, but like big things go on the day. Next, I go in and plug in all of my recurring meetings and events. So I have a chapter for my sorority every Monday at 5 o'clock, 5:30, if you want to get technical, but whatever. I plug it in, and then you can set it as a recurring event so that it like reminds you every week. This is just like all still like setting up your calendar, because then like the good thing is when you put in everything that you have and you.
So this was just kind of an example to show you of you're not alone in this. The reason why we embedded this video is to let you know that we all are trying to find ways, techniques, tools, and strategies on how to manage time. She has her technique and strategy, which works for her. So you're gonna, as a student, you're gonna find and you're gonna discover ways that works for you. We all are different individuals. Some of us are different learners. And so definitely, me, like I said, I use the planner. She used an online platform for her calendar, which really works well for her. So this was just a video to let you know that you're not alone. That's why we're giving you this workshops with this information for you to feel supported, and for you to get this, to obtain this knowledge so you can be successful. So I'm gonna, this video is a little long, so I'm just gonna stop this video and continue with the PowerPoint that we have. So let me just go back to that and move on. Okay, so now you have some free access to calendars. So you don't have, like I said, I use the Passion Planner once again for the 5th time. That Passion Planner is expensive. It's about $20 to $30. It's, you know, we don't all have that type of money. I don't, but you know, if you want to invest in your future and your personal life, that's great. But sometimes you don't have it. So you have free calendars that are offered to you. The one that I know about is Canvas. There's a calendar embedded in your Canvas. If you're taking online classes or if you have access to Canvas, you can use the calendar there. There's the Google Calendar, which I believe a lot of people have access to, and that's free. Personal planner, free printables. You can Google this, you know, just put personal planner, free printables. There'll be templates that pop up that you can print out for free. So that's a great way. And you can kind of staple it together, clip it together, maybe hole punch it and put in your binder or folder, whatever you need to do. There's also your personal phone calendar, which, like I said in the beginning, this is great and the most convenient one because you're with your phone all the time. Who goes without their phone nowadays, right? So that's a really good one, a cool one. So we're going to talk about, you know, setting goals for yourself. With time management, setting goals for yourself is important too. Short-term goals, long-term goals, and just making sure that you list those out. Set a personal academic goal. Set one for your personal life. Hey, I want to exercise 30 minutes every day. Academic goal. Hey, I want to read a chapter from the book in my Black Studies class every day for you know, an hour. Whichever goal you want to set, make sure that goal is realistic and attainable. We don't want to set goals that are not achievable because then that kind of gets you discouraged, you know, that feeling of like, oh wait, I'm failing. So just make sure that you set realistic, attainable goals. That's a very important thing. Track your progress. You know, see that week, if you said you wanted to exercise 30 minutes every day and you only exercise for 10, okay, maybe you need a, you know, kind of manage that goal. Maybe 30 minutes is too much. Maybe 15 minutes will be better for you. So just make sure you track your progress. Learn from your mistakes and use them to your advantage. Like I said, when you're tracking, it's always trial and error. You know, we're not perfect, like I said. So when you're tracking, you can see the error in your goals. Like, okay, well, reading a book every day for an hour is not feasible for me because I'm in class for 8 hours and then I go to work for 3 hours. And by the time I get home, I'm mentally exhausted. So maybe, you know, scheduling time during the weekend where you don't have to go to work or you don't have to go to school to set some of those goals. So just make sure you track your progress and you, you know, schedule obtainable goals. All right. You know what? We're at the end and this has been amazing. So I just want to let you guys know that I hope you receive some beneficial knowledge and information today on time management skills, on using calendars and, you know, to live a healthy, balanced lifestyle. I want you guys to follow us on social media, you know, at SD City FYS. We're on Instagram and Facebook. We're live every day. We update our Facebook and Instagram with important information, deadlines, activities, and events that are going on campus. So we want you to stay connected, stay on track. We support you. We're here for you. And thank you for tuning in the time management workshop.